Good morning traders, Joseph here from Eightcap. Welcome to the Trade Zone Asian session update for this week, the 16th of January. So we're looking at gold at the moment, and we can see that gold had another fantastic session to end out last week, and it set, that continued that 2-day rally, and it continued that entire week of strong gains. So there was a few very strong movers last week, and we'll get into those in a moment. First things first, we're just going to have a look at some of the things that are coming up this week, data-wise, and we will just start with today. We don't have any real key news today. There's a US bank holiday as well, and that's for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And coming in on Tuesday, we have the Chinese GDP, which is expected to come out at 1.6%. So with China opening up now, and with obviously everyone's pretty aware from news reports about the numbers of infections due to COVID with that reopening, we'll just have to, does make you wonder if there's going to be big setbacks, or if there's going to be any interruptions, because we did see this in Australia. We did have a mass of cases, and it did affect shipping and other areas with people being sick and not able to work. So we will see how that is, if that's affecting China, if that's going to come through in the GDP. It's not a very big number. It's been, it's 1.6 versus the last 3.9%. So there's also been a lot of deaths as well. Very sad to hear, but this is coming out as well. So all of this has to have some impact. So we'll see how that number comes out on Tuesday, and if it does come out, because there was a delay in the last data release previously for the GDP. Now the pound, we on Tuesday as well have the client count change coming out as well, and then probably the biggest data will be coming out through Wednesday and Thursday, and we have PI coming out for in Canada, and that will be the CPI, the median, the trimmed, and the common. And we have the Empire State Manufacturing Index on Wednesday morning as well, and we have the Bank of Japan outlook report, and the policy statement, and the press conference. Now, rates are not expected to move, and it's meant to remain on hold, but we all know what happened last time with the last Bank of Japan meeting, and that was a big shock to the market. So will we see any more massive shocks like last time? Probably not, but it will be interesting to see if we see any more details coming out around that bond buying program that they put into place, and the adjustment that was made as well through, which really did send the yen skyrocketing. So not thinking or saying that we will see a repeat of last month, but definitely it's a hot one at the moment, and worth watching. And if you are trading the yen, definitely be ready for possibility of some more movement if anything new does come out. So Thursday we have more inflation data out of the US, and it is expected to come in lower. So we have the core PPI and the PPI. The PPI is expected to come in at -0.1%, the core at 0.1%, and that's significantly lower than the last data of 0.4%. We also have US retail sales that's expected to come in lower at -0.8%, and the core retail sales -0.5%. So that is basically some of the key news to watch out for this week. News-wise, we have the US debt limit coming back into focus once again. That was raised in 2021, but again, the US will hit its debt limit this Thursday, it's expected, and Congress is looking at steps to avoid default. So there's a bit of a conversation about this one. Some senators in the US want that debt limit removed, but others are saying it is required. And so obviously you'd think that the US are going to raise that ceiling, but from what I was reading, that they are going to Congress is going to take steps and put into place certain things that are going to keep it under control until at least June, and then I'm sure we'll see that the ceiling gets raised once again to avoid default. So we did see some volatility around this last year, so there was a 7% move at one stage, so definitely it can move the market, and it is quite a sensitive topic, so it could also have an effect on the dollar, and the dollar continues at this point to remain under a fair bit of pressure. Now, while gold is jumping up back above that, nice and firm above that 1900 area, we have seen this rally. It's been a really amazing rally. We are wondering if we are going to see a bit of a pullback this week on risk markets after some really amazing gains that we have been seeing. And it's not just US related, or we want to continue to talk about European stocks as they continue to lead the charge. And we can just see here on the German 30 and the France 40, this rally here just continues to shine, and the UK 100 as well has just been continuing to jet, and it's well and truly just running above that resistance point. So it's going to be another interesting week for equities, and we want some of the headwinds coming through. We want to see if momentum can continue, and if we do continue to see some of these rallies remain underway. With the Bank of Japan coming out this week, we want to see how the Nikkei can continue. So we saw that real nice move off support, but we can see the market has come back down to this low now. So things aren't, comparing some of the equity indexes, things on the JPN 225 are still not very certain, and we can see that quick reversal after that buying last week, and Friday's session was a very strong move lower, and that was due to yen strength. So we can see here some moves from the yen once again, pushing down not only the risk currencies but the JPN 225 as well. So we want to see what happens this week with the yen to those markets, and if we're going to see a bit of things stabilize, or if we will continue to see the yen strengthen throughout this week. And if we do have any more surprises from the Bank of Japan, that could send the yen higher once again. And the support point on the JPN 225 is quite important, so that's down at 25.6 to 25.5 area, and we did see a test on Friday, and if we saw a break at that does start to open up a new dynamic here, because the market has been in a range for a fair period of time, but a breakthrough of that support could signal that there is a new downtrend underway. And it is a bit contradicting to some of the other indexes, as we're seeing some strong moves in European markets and US markets remaining quite steady to okay at the moment. So just taking a look at some of those markets here, they're not doing as well as what we've been seeing on the US markets, but we are still seeing higher highs from last week. So for the US 30 in particular, we want to see if we can get back up to 34,600 area and break that. And for the NASDAQ, the NDX 100, it's a fair way away, but we want to see if the market can get back up to levels, that 12,000 points. So we want to cap off just with a couple, just on cryptos before we end the report. Cryptos had a great end to the week and another very strong weekend. So Bitcoin actually traded at 21,000 at one stage over the weekend, and we saw a test of this high at 21,393. So again, things do look a touch extended. We wonder if we're going to see some sort of pullback. If we don't, we'll just look for current momentum to carry forward, and we want to see some of those highs beaten. But cryptos are definitely back in focus, and these rallies are continuing to push higher. So some very good rallies we haven't seen for a period of time, and buying does look to be pretty feverish at the moment, which is generally a healthy sign for cryptos. But we have seen this before, and we have seen the pullbacks come back into play. So we want to see if nothing really changes, and if the PPI and other influences remain in favor, we want to see if cryptos can continue to make those pushes. So we can just see the recoveries on a lot of coins have been pretty beaten down. So Canada, for instance, as well, got back above areas after that FTX sell-off, and so healthy, good signs, but we want to see if buyers can continue. But it might be the stage where we need a decent pullback just to show that there's a bit of health in the trends. So even if we had to pull back to around 19,000, if we found new support, then went back up to test those highs, that would be a good sign. So that's really it for this update. So definitely keep an eye on the Bank of Japan this week, the PPI data coming out from the US, the Chinese GDP, and just the debt ceiling issue as that progresses as well throughout this week. So we'll continue to do regular updates during the week. If you do enjoy our content, please subscribe, and we do have a lot of guest analysts coming in during the week to put out pieces of analysis as well. So we wish you all a fantastic week and all the best with your trading, and until the next update, good trading and bye for now.